I'm Caleb. And when I woke up that morning, I felt like I had to take charge of everything in my life. Monroe, a 32-year-old systems analyst, is competent at repairing code, but not incredibly adept at cleaning up the mess I sometimes call my daily routine. I'd been working hard, staring at screens for hours, and I hadn't taken care of myself in weeks. So I decided today would be the day. Just a quick haircut at the neighborhood barber shop. Nothing fancy. Just enough to feel like a new man. The air was crisp as I stepped outside, breath bursting into little clouds. I already felt lighter, like a fresh haircut could somehow reset everything. The barbershop smelled like leather and aftershave. Tony, the barber, gave me a clean fade, and somehow it changed my entire perspective. I nodded at my reflection, actually approving for once. I gave him a little extra, stepped back out into the cold, and started walking home. I figured I'd knock out some overdue emails, but then everything went wrong. I wasn't paying attention. I'll admit, that's on me. There was an ice patch on the sidewalk I didn't see, slick as glass. One step on a thin layer of snow, and my left leg slipped out from under me. I tried to catch myself, but my weight shifted wrong. I hit the ground, hard. A searing pain ripped through my shin, like someone had driven a spike straight into the bone. People gathered. One of them asked, "You okay, man?" But I couldn't answer. Someone called an ambulance. The next thing I knew, I was in the ER, staring up at a fluorescent ceiling while a nurse prepped me for x-rays. The doctor came back with the news. A clean tibia fracture. 6 to 8 weeks in a cast. No weight-bearing. Crutches. Painkillers. Rest. I nodded, still in shock, as they wrapped me in a heavy plaster cast from ankle to just below the knee. I was groggy, head foggy from the meds when I reached for my phone. I called my wife Amanda. We'd been married 5 years. Things weren't perfect, but I thought she'd at least want to know I was hurt. "Hey," I said, trying to sound calm. "I fell, broke my leg. I'm at the hospital." There was a pause. Then her voice came through, distracted, clipped. "Oh, that's terrible. You got a cast?" "Yeah. Just so you know," I replied, pressing the phone tighter to my ear. She barely reacted. "All right. I'm helping my sister with some travel plans right now, so let me know if you need anything. If not, I'll come by later." Like I'd told her, I spilled coffee on my shirt. I hung up, stared at the phone, and felt something tighten in my chest. The first red flag, and I missed it. Or ignored it. I took a cab home. Amanda was still out. The apartment was silent. Every crutch-assisted step cut into my armpits. I collapsed onto the couch, propped my cast on a pillow, and stared at the room. Like everything was normal. Dishes in the sink, her magazines on the table, my laptop still open. Except it wasn't normal. Not for me. I popped a pill. Let the numbness settle. Let the fog take over. And for a moment, I thought about that haircut, that simple, fleeting moment of self-care. Then Amanda's voice echoed in my head, the way she sounded like I was just an inconvenience. I convinced myself she was busy, that we'd talk later, that everything was fine. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. That night, I drifted off on the couch, still wearing yesterday's clothes. My leg pulsed with pain. The next morning, sunlight poured through the window, and the pain was back with a vengeance. The cast felt like a cage. I heard Amanda in the kitchen, clinking dishes, shuffling around. I grabbed my crutches and hobbled toward her. She stood at the counter, pouring coffee into a mug. Didn't even look back when I walked in. "Morning," I croaked, voice hoarse. She glanced over her shoulder. "You look rough. No warmth, just a flat observation." "Yeah, well, broken leg'll do that." I waited for her to ask how I was. She didn't. just stirred sugar into her coffee. So, we're watching Mason while Harper and Logan go to the Bahamas, she said casually. I blinked. What? Mason? Her sister's 6-year-old? I can't even watch myself right now, I said, gripping the crutches tighter. He's 6, not a baby, she snapped. Since you can't work, at least make yourself useful. Useful, like a broken appliance, like I was nothing more than a backup plan. Amanda, I said, trying to stay calm. I haven't eaten yet. My leg's killing me. I'm on pain meds. I can't chase after a kid. You're not chasing anyone, she replied, rolling her eyes. Just keep an eye on him. She didn't get it. Or didn't care. I wanted to argue. I really did. But her face said it all. Conversation over. So I hobbled back to the couch and sat down, drowning in frustration. This wasn't the first time Harper and Logan dumped Mason on us. Amanda never seemed to mind. But this time I couldn't do it. She knew I couldn't do it. I asked, when are they dropping him off? Tomorrow evening, she answered, already texting. Less than 24 hours. No discussion. No concern. You'll figure it out, she said, walking to the bedroom. You always do. The door clicked shut. I sat there. Alone. Again. The apartment felt smaller somehow. Walls closing in. I stared at Amanda's sneakers by the door, the pile of unpaid bills, the silent TV. I thought about calling Harper, telling her no, but I knew how that would go. She'd cry. Amanda would take her side. I'd be the villain. My phone buzzed. Mateo, my coworker, checking in. Hanging in there, I replied, too drained to explain. I looked around, at the clutter, at the life we'd built. It all felt so distant, cold. Tonight I'd talk to Amanda again, try to explain, try to be heard, but deep down, I already knew. I wasn't her partner anymore. I was a responsibility, a burden. Despite the pain in my arms, I lifted myself up, one crutch, then the other. I just wanted to eat. Take something for the pain, try not to think about tomorrow, but the weight of it all was getting harder to carry. And my cast? It wasn't the only thing broken. I was just returning to the couch as the counter, a somber reminder of my limitations, sat there. I tried to divert my attention with some pointless television, and when the doorbell rang, I felt sick to my stomach because I knew who it was. Before I even got up, every step felt like a nightmare, each one risky, my crutches swaying on the carpet. When I eventually unlocked it, Harper and Logan were there. Mason stood between them, holding a rucksack that looked bigger than he was. Harper's face was beaming, as if she were delivering a gift, not a duty. She smiled and said, "Thank you so much for this. We truly appreciate it." I stepped up, one hand on the doorframe, trying to find the words I had rehearsed in my head. I began a bit more harshly than I meant to say I wasn't in any shape to. But Logan interrupted. He put a hand on Mason's shoulder and said, "We'll be back. 3 weeks."